A major deterrent for prospective foster parents is the inflexibility of their workplace to accommodate the needs of foster families. And joining us now to talk about how you can become a foster care friendly workplace, we have Mrs. International 2020, Ashley Ray Klinger. Good morning, Ashley. How are you today?
Good morning, Jordan. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks for asking. But we're just going to get right into this here this morning. So what does it mean to be a foster care friendly workplace?
You know, there's a variety of different ways, and if I'm being cut off, I sincerely apologize, but there are a variety of different ways that you can become a foster care friendly workplace. It's just about policies that you maybe implement into your maybe your employee handbook or into your work environment. But ultimately what we want to do is create that supportive work environment for these families that are wanting to welcome children into their home.
And that's something that definitely needs to happen. There's a need for it. And so there is something called a challenge. What is the challenge of this?
Yeah, you know what? So really it's overcoming some of these misconceptions that we have about foster care in the workplace. And those misconceptions can come from a couple of different angles, from the family and from the employer. From a family perspective, it might just be that automatic thought that my employer isn't going to support me doing foster care. And from an employee perspective, believe it or not, we have seen where some employees maybe aren't super supportive of foster families because they think it's going to be an added burden, or maybe these families are going to need extra time away from work. And so it's really working to get together to overcome those challenges and some of those misconceptions that exist out there.
And so there's also something, it's the Foster More Foster Care Friendly Workplace Pledge. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah, that's actually something, it's a program that I actually work with, but the ultimate goal with that and with other things that we're trying to implement is just really trying to create, again, that supportive workplace for families that do foster care. And so it's kind of approaching it, again, from two different angles, from the family and from the employer. As a family, it's really communicating with your employer when you maybe want to start that journey, when you start looking into foster care. Just open those lines of communication and be very transparent and very honest with them about your journey and your intentions. And then from the employer aspect, there are many different things that you can do as an employer to create that supportive environment. The Foster More, they have a foster care friendly workplace pledge that employers can actually implement into their workplace. And that's one of the programs that I promote and I work with. But there are a lot of other things that they can do. They can host meetings for foster families to learn more about foster care if they're not already doing foster care. For older foster youth, maybe they have an internship program, an apprenticeship program. It can help with recruitment to give older foster children jobs as they're maybe transitioning out of the foster care system. There's great opportunities for mentorship relationships between employees and foster youth. So just so many simple things that employers can do to really show that they support the foster community, the foster children that we're here to serve, and the foster families who are choosing to welcome these children into our home.
And do you have a personal connection with this at all?
Yeah, we do. And I work from home. So for me, my boss is pretty nice and they kind of let me do foster care if I want to because I work for myself. But my husband works for a company called Minnesota Power Co-op, and they actually have been very supportive from day one. When they learned that we were adopting our son Micah, when they learned that we were doing foster care, they have been so supportive. And that can go a long way in how comfortable a family feels in pursuing foster care. Yes, I'm maybe the one that does most of the running and the errands because my schedule is a little bit more flexible. But again, Andrew's employer has been so supportive of our efforts. And if he does maybe need to be gone to help out with an appointment, he can do that. And again, that has just provided us as a foster family with such a great foundation to adequately care for the needs of these children. But I also want foster families and employers to remember that as foster families, we receive support from around county from different agencies that we're doing foster care through. So maybe we need help with the children, running them to appointments. We have those options there. So it's not that we have to be away from the workplace all day, every day. We do have support. So again, ultimately, we just want businesses to reach out. If you want to reach out to me, I am more than happy to visit with you, whether it be in person or via Zoom, no matter where you are around the country, but just to really learn more about you as an employer and a business, how you can adapt some of these simple policies into your workplace to support foster families.
Some good information this morning. Ashley, thank you for coming on. Now, coming up
Thanks,
here
Jordan.
today, we'll have more on two authors that are making it easier to explain what's going on in the world with COVID storybooks for kids. Stick around.